All right, welcome everybody to Bandwagon Sports. This is our first ever Tuesday show, and this is our first time ever in the new setup. Usually we're in the garage, so here we are. Oh, we're in the room today, in the room, doing our thing, going over the sports. We've got football that happened this past night. We had two Monday night football games. Um, we had Tennessee facing Tennessee facing, oh, good lordy. Tennessee, Miami Dolphins, Packers, Giants. So let's hop right into it. We got from the New York Giants, Tommy Cutlett. Tommy Cutlett doing his thing with the game winning drive, driving his team down the field in the fourth quarter, getting them in field goal range, doing his thing. As we see right here, Giants get the victory 24-22. Um, Tommy DeVito just really having a game. This is his fourth start. This, Giants have a three-game winning streak. Tommy DeVito, 17 for 21, 158 yards, one touchdown, 10 carries for 71 yards. The man was just doing the thing. He was just getting it done, just on the feet, passing tutties, doing his thing. I think one touchdown, almost had a rushing touchdown. He had a 26-yard rush where it was stopped at the 1 yard line. Um, so Tommy Catlett getting it done. So big dubs, big dubs. We're gonna kind of go over some of these clips right here from the game. You got all Giants just doing it. We had the throwback jerseys, the 1980, 1999 throwback uniforms. Looking cold out there, getting it done. Um, you had everyone in the stands. You had Tommy's dad, Tommy's mom, Tommy's family, his agent, giving them the money sign, giving them all Tommy DeVito magic. Kind of reminds me of Johnny Football. Look at this. Let's see. This might be his passing touchdown. Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito. Corner of the end zone. Two Hodgins. What a dime. What a dime, this dude. He was dealing. I think to end the game on the game-winning drive, he had like 5 passes in a row. Giants 3-game winning streak. When was the last time you've ever heard that? I think they're at, what do we got them for the season? We got them at 5-8. So we're 2-8 before old Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito steps in. Big dubs. Big dubs. Always big dubs. Big blue. So Tommy DeVito getting the job done with the last minute touchdown drive. Um, Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns. Um, Getting into the end zone twice. This was just a day full of running backs. I mean, multiple running backs with 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, though, he said, "We're in this motherfucker, to be honest." Saquon Barkley, the dude's doing it. I think they're 2 games behind. Even at 4-8, they are still in the playoff hunt. 2 games behind. Somehow, some way. Tommy DeVito and New York Giants might get the job done. You had Tommy DeVito's agent at the game. He was just a star. He was just a star. They had him everywhere. Um, they had him at the beginning of the game, looking at him. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Tell me this guy doesn't look like an Italian mobster. Tell me he doesn't look like an Italian gangster. But this is the guy that you want as your agent if you're Tommy DeVito. I mean, Tommy DeVito. Look at that. Before this game, 697 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 5 games. I mean, the man's just getting it done. But look at this agent right here. Look at him. He's got the hat on. I mean, you know he's making some calls to the mobsters. He's like, yeah, we got 70 yards for Tommy DeVito. We got a passing touchdown, 170 yards. Sorry, 150 yards. Correct that. So you know Tommy's out here getting Tommy DeVito's agent just getting business done. Looks like a mafia boss, getting it done. And then Giants have an amazing game. You have this funny ass clip. Tommy DeVito's dad and the agent sharing a moment, just giving each other some smooches. Giving each other some smooches. Reading the comments right here. They definitely have mob ties. I mean, definitely. You have to think Tommy DeVito's agent is calling into the mob, and he is like, hey, bet the over on this game. Bet Giants +6. Tommy DeVito and the Giants. This is my Italian accent. The Giants, they're getting the job done. They're getting it done. We're gonna get paid. Big dubs, big dubs. Tommy Cutlets, baby. This is my only client. I only represent the mobster boys. Well, Tommy DeVito, getting it done. Getting it done. Tommy Cutlet. And then you got a nice little. How about we make a movie out of this? Little Saquon Barkley, Tommy DeVito, the agent in the mafia. Look at this. Tommy DeVito just always wanted to be a Giant. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a Giant. That is who you want as your quarterback. Eli Manning, great dude. But was he Italian? Did he love the cutlets? No, he didn't. Tommy DeVito, beginning of the season, I think for his first start and when he came in, still living with his parents, still probably do to this day. His mom making him dinner, making him food, making his bed, doing his laundry. Tommy Cutlet just getting taken care of. The Giants launch off fireworks with Tommy DeVito on his 26-yard rush. Gets stopped at the one, but looks like his momentum carried him into the end zone. Looks like he got it done. Um, doesn't quite get in, but still, you gotta love the Giants fan just giving it up for old Tommy DeVito, just popping off fireworks as he is just doing his damn thing, just doing his damn thing. So old Tommy Cutlet, definitely MVP of this game, especially with the game-winning drive. Um, Jordan Love, rough night. Um, 25 for 39, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Looks good on paper, but after the first drive, just really having a struggle, fumbling the ball, had a fumble lost. Um, Throwing a pick the very next drive, just missing wide open receivers. Jordan Love just not having a good time, throwing his helmet down. Um, really struggling in this matchup. Um, an old Tommy DeVito at home, taking his Giants on the road to victory. It looks like they're only one game behind Green Bay, so hey, I don't want to be playing these Giants right now. That's for sure. But man, big old news for. Let's see if we missed anything. Saquon Barkley, 20 carries, 86 yards. AJ Dillon, 15 carries, 53 yards. Not really getting anything done. That's really the only running back that didn't get anything done tonight. Um, let's see here. We got hmm, second game of the day. These happen at the same times, but this is the order we're covering these. Um, Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans taking down the Miami Super Powerhouse Dolphins. Um, Tennessee, as we talked about, they were 4-8, 0-6 on the road. Miami Dolphins were 9-3, 5-0 at home. We thought this was going to be an easy dub for old Tua and Tyreek Hill, but really, really tough game here for the Miami Dolphins. Shouldn't have been, but Will Levis, 23 for 38, 327 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Just just being an absolute demon out there. Rough start to the game. Um, Takes the lead in the second quarter. Has the lead pretty much in the third quarter. This was like tie ball game pretty much the whole time. And then Miami really take off in that fourth quarter. Really get that 14 plus lead. Um, Try and cover that spread, that 13.5 spread. The Titans with the comeback victory. Let's see, I think they were down 14 points in the last 3 minutes of the game. Um, Teams that have been down in the last 3 minutes of the game have lost 767 straight games. I mean, that is just probably decades of games. And Will Levis was just like down 14 with 3 minutes. I got you. Dime to DeAndre Hopkins. Another dime to DeAndre Hopkins. Punch it in with old Derrick Henry. Let's get this job done. You see him absolutely flexing, absolutely looking jocked. Look at this. I mean, the man was just livid. And I would be too if I had old Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins behind me. Will look at the man, just absolutely jocked. Good Lord. Derrick Henry just diving in right there. I mean, Tennessee fans, they needed two quick scores, and literally on like 3 plays, score, touchdown, get the ball back, stop them, score again. What looked like to be too early. They scored with like 2 minutes left in the game. But defense coming up clutch, stopping them, not allowing Miami to get into field goal range, and Tennessee getting it done. You got Derrick Henry with 2 touchdowns. You got DeAndre Hopkins, 7 receptions for 124 yards. I mean, Will Levis has just been struggling all season, except for his debut. And his debut, he tossed like 4 touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins. So it looks like he got back to what he remembered, and that was, hey, just throw it up to D Hop. D Hop will get the job done. Um, and sure enough, they got the job done. I mean, 1 in 767. Like, geez. You are not supposed to win these games. You're not supposed to get it done against a powerhouse of a team, the Miami Dolphins. I mean, they're just a crazy, crazy game. Um, Will Levis, 23 for 38. Yeah, Titans. Um, fourth quarter, Titans have two very costly turnovers. Just feeding it to Miami pretty much. Just handing it to them. You had you had a pitch back from Will Levis going back to Derrick Henry, just pitching the ball back, and Derrick Henry just whoop, bad pitch, goes over his head, recovered by Miami. And then you had, I think, a fumble, or no, a muffed punt, like a muff catch off of a punt. Dude gets it, boom, drops it, and goes into the other team's hands. You got Miami at the goal line twice. Both these times they gave it up. They gave it up to the Miami Dolphins in the red zone, which allowed Miami to get that 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. But hey, Will Levis was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm about to come out here and I'm about to get this shit done. I'm about to get this shit done for the Tennessee Titans. I'm about to upset the Miami Dolphins at home. So you see win probability literally coming down to like the last minute or two of the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, Miami Dolphins 99% win probability. And then it's switching. I think there was odds. Let's see. Let's go back to that image. Um, yeah. So plus the money line went up to plus 1300 in favor of the Titans, or in favor of Miami, obviously. But dude, the people that made that bet, I doubt anyone did. We probably would have heard about it. But, I mean, good lordy. Um, yeah, Titans beat the Dolphins. It's 13.5 point underdogs. Really doing their thing with the jocked Will Levis quarterback. I mean, the dude is just a goofy man. I mean, you saw him during this game literally waving at the camera. I mean, look at this dude's face. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. But Shapen's up, gets the job done. Um, man, Dolphins offense really couldn't get anything going. Dolphins have a pick six by their big man. Will Levis throws a pick beginning of the game, pretty much. See if we can find it here. So what is it? Zach Sealer gets the pick six. Big old defensive lineman spikes the ball, does his thing. He's doing his touchdown celly, and then he's on special teams for the extra point. So he's got to end it soon. He's got to end it as soon as possible. Get back to the line and kick the extra point. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, let's see. Well, Will Levis throws it right to him. So we got old Zach Sealer right there. Literally, who is he throwing it to? 33? Oh, and then gets lit up for it. Just gets smacked. Like, you love to see Will Levis just putting his body on the line, but come on, not to the lineman. Not at the 1 yard line. I mean, he's pretty much getting hit in the end zone. Boom. On, on the goal line. What are you doing, Will Levis? Big man touchdown. You love to see it. You love to see it. Tyreek, we've been talking about him in our past episodes about him trying to hit that record of 2,000 plus receiving yards. He needed a big performance in this game to even really have a chance at that. He's going to need like 120 yards per game probably before this. Let's see what he got to. He got to 61 yards. Okay, so that's not bad. Tyreek Hill, let's look at his profile. So we got 1,542 yards, I think, with 4 games left. So he is going to have to. Okay, so he'll just have to get over just over 100 yards per game in these last ones, or just absolutely pop off. Um, we want him in the MVP race. I think he said he's happy that Tua's in the race. He doesn't need it. He just wants to break this record. Um, so we got 12 touchdowns, first in the league. Receiving touchdowns, I would imagine. Receptions, 97, second in the league. Yards, 1,542 yards. But Tyreek, big news. I think after the second catch, after second reception, he gets taken out and he gets taken to the locker room. He comes out without his helmet. Looks like some running shoes on. Um, Says his ankle's untaped. Seemed to be an ankle injury. Um, he was, I mean, he was pretty hyped after getting back up from it. This is the tackle right here. So he gets pulled down, almost looks like a horse collar from behind. Not feeling well, kind of laying there. Um, and then he eventually hops up and just sprints off. Just phew, does his little cheetah, sprints off. So we'll see this one more time. And then we should see him hop back up. But it looks like kind of just landing on that knee, maybe rolling over on that ankle. Oh, yeah, so coming down on that ankle. Um, but he comes out for probably 2 quarters out of this game. And then coaches are kind of hesitant playing him. You see him kind of on the sideline, just like itching to get in. Um, Tyreek not having a very good game. Damn, you don't want him going backwards. Not a very good showing from Tyreek. You hate to see studs like that getting hurt. You kind of want to see them break that record. You want to see that next guy. You want to see him do the impossible. Um, Tyreek Hill, man, big story of the game. Um, Hopkins had a crazy touchdown, or not touchdown, crazy reception right before half. Looked like it should have been called pass interference. No flag on this play. Just Hopkins doing his thing. There was literally only like, let's see here. There was like 12 seconds left on the clock. He hops back up, actually was no touched, and gets out of bounds with like 9 seconds left. Um, Probably should have just stayed down. But old D Hop having himself a game, 7 receptions. You also had, so we talked about Derrick Henry with his 2 touchdowns. And then Raheem Mostert also had 2 touchdowns on 21 carries for 96 yards, almost 100 piece. Um, but running backs for this Monday, Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns, Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdowns, and Raheem Mostert, 2 touchdowns. So A.J. Dillon, what were you doing? Why weren't you running the ball for your team? Get that ball in the end zone. Come on, man. They needed you. Um, it's all right. So news from this past Sunday, we were talking about how all Tony lined up offsides multiple times. You actually see this is posted by ESPN, NFL, and SportsCenter. Tony, Kadarius, apparently lined up offsides 4 times in this entire game. So the controversial call that they made of him offsides, I mean, it should have been called 3 other times. So as you see here, lined up, his foot is farther than the ball is. You got this instance. Look at the blue line. And then Another instance right here. Look at his foot over the line. And then it happens two other times, and the touchdown was the only one that was called, the only one that was called back. So this has been talked about. This has been a huge controversial topic. Patrick Mahomes, he's like, just let the just let the men play. Talking to Josh Allen after the game, he's like, "Have you ever seen this motherfucker? Like these people making plays, them calling it back. Like, come on, let's just let them be athletes." And Josh Allen's like, "Mm-hmm." And so you have a lot of people complaining about Mahomes, saying that, "Hey, this dude is just a complainer. This dude's just a sore loser." But I think he was just absolutely fed up with the season he's having. Even though he's defending old Kadarius Toney, he is still just fed up. And so, I mean, we looked at it yesterday. He is just absolutely pissed, throwing helmets, just going ham. Um, as he should. I mean, you want to show a little emotion. You want to show that, hey, you're in this. You're a fucking competitor. But people are saying, hey, he's just a sore loser. Apparently, he might get fined for this. Um, but he's just looking out for his man. He's looking out for old Kadarius. And Kadarius was the one that had the touchdown, so he wants that on his highlight reel just as much. Um, Apparently, Andy Reid and Mahomes will potentially get fined for this. I mean, they don't want people complaining about refs. They don't want people doing this. Um, Man, just what an incredible play, and for it to just get called back like that, especially when you see it now. Like now you got them lined up 4 times offsides, and them never calling it, and then they're like, oh, hey, this is the one. Hey, he's offsides. Take it back. Um, but obviously, Kadarius Toney. I mean, come on, line up on sides. Um, like it's not very hard. I think most people, when they are on the line lining up, I'm pretty sure they're like a little bit off, at least 6 inches off, if not a foot. Um, so for him to be just right up on the line, um, you got forgot his name, but he kind of touches on this. Um, yeah, old Tony, just I mean, the man's got to line up on sides. We need him lined up on sides. You cannot be doing that, especially in these situations. Like it's all this ticky-tacky stuff that is cost the Chiefs probably 3, if not 4 games. That could make them maybe a potentially only 2-loss team this year. Um, 2, even 1 loss. So in past, when they were pulling off all these really close games, the receivers have just not been there, just making mistakes. Um, Obviously, it's just getting to him as a competitor. He is used to winning. All he's done is won his entire life. So to not be able to do that, to not be able to play at his highest level, um, you gotta you gotta understand why the man's upset. Um, so let's see, we got Drake May officially announcing that he is um, foregoing his eligibility at UNC to declare for the NFL draft. Drake May, UNC quarterback, has had an incredible year. Um, it says it says right here he's a strong contender for a #1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. I think first overall pick will be Caleb Williams. Drake May, I think, is projected to be 2, but hey, who knows? The Bears want Drake May. They might be drafting him. Um, Drake May having one hell of a season. I think both of his brothers played basketball at UNC, so his family, just a bunch of studs, just a bunch of athletes, and him. I mean, if we have to think about Caleb Williams and Drake May, and maybe some of the other quarterbacks in the draft. Thinking about some teams for them. I mean, you got Chicago. Think they're gonna have one of the number one overall picks. Probably gonna get Caleb Williams. And then who else? Like, you got to think. Patriots, they've been struggling, even with Zappy having an incredible performance. He's not going to be the guy. Mac Jones is not the guy. So maybe Drake May is this guy. Maybe Drake May is the one stepping back, just throwing dimes, doing his thing, being the guy. Maybe he's him. Maybe he's going to have the Hemi. But hey, if he's a strong contender for number one overall pick, he might be in a Bears uniform. Bears, Patriots, awful organizations at the moment. Obviously, we know that Patriots have always been a super team. Um, but it looks like people don't want him as a Patriot right here. People do want him as a Patriot. Looks like that's what they think he is. Um, the greatest quarterback Chapel Hill ever had. Still couldn't beat State. Oof. So I guess the last two UNC quarterbacks, just be careful about drafting North Carolina quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky, who we saw get booed in the Steelers game and lose to old Bailey Zappi. Then you had Sam Howell. Sam Howell, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing at Washington. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Um, but Drake May, he's no Sam Howell. He's no Mitch Trubisky. He is Drake May. Um, we also had this past weekend, we had old Maserati Marv winning the Blitnikoff Award. And this is awarded to top receivers in any position. Um, but Malik Neighbors had something to say about that. He said he doesn't think this is right. Remember that? So disrespectful. But look at this. I mean, you got 86 receptions, almost 20 more receptions than Maserati Marv. Find himself being open 20 more times. Has over 300 more yards and the same amount of touchdowns. Like, come on. Where is the respect? All the light was shined on Maserati Marv this whole season. They kind of touched on Neighbors, but with Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman Trophy, I mean, this is how he was getting all these yards. He's tossing it up to Malik Neighbors. So, I mean, I'm kind of with Malik Neighbors here. Like, come on, we got way more receiving yards. Like, what is happening right here? But I guess, I mean, to be fair, you have Heisman Trophy winner throwing it to Malik Neighbors, and you got a mediocre quarterback at best, Kyle McCord, throwing it to Maserati Marv. So for him to still put up these numbers, I mean, that is quite impressive. Um, this is funny. You got all Josh right here. You got a Heisman quarterback. We had a Honda McCord. So you had a Honda McCord throwing to Maserati Marv. I mean, come on. This is probably why Kyle McCord is all transferring to probably Nebraska, and that's why he's seeing there because, I mean, you got to think Ohio State's getting someone else to come in and throw to this Maserati Marv, or just the five-star recruits that they're getting. Maserati Marv projected to go to the draft as well. He's going to be one of the top picks. Um, but who knows? They're talking about. I mean, him and his agent. They're talking about, hey, maybe we might stay. Might stay one more year at Ohio State. We might do this one more time because this NIL money. I mean, with those rookie contracts, if they're not paying him enough, then he might forego the NFL draft and he might do another season in college football, which would be absolutely electric. Who knows who's going to be throwing it to him? But If he's putting up numbers like this, you got to think he's going to do the same thing. Um, but those top rookie contracts are probably going to get the man paid. He's probably going to go to the draft. I doubt he stays. Still topic of conversation. Hey, these people, they're able to decide whether they want to go to the draft or stay in, keep that NIL money. For some of these players, it might be better than those rookie contracts if they're not in that like top 10, um, maybe even top 20. Who knows? Who knows how deep it would ride? But I mean, if you're outside of a certain amount, you're not getting very much for a rookie contract, and you might be the dude at your university. You might be getting that NIL money. So crazy things happening here. I mean, who knows what all these receivers are going to start doing? Um, you got Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers, signing with the Dodgers. $700 million over 10 years. 700 million over 2 years. Largest contract in North American sports history. I mean, insane contract. You see it compared to the other top contracts that they have in the MLB. And this dude is just swamping them. I mean, almost $300 million more than Mike Trout. You got almost $400 million more than Mookie Betts. Almost $400 million more than Aaron Judge. So like you have all these people in roughly the same range, and you just got Shohei Ohtani just above all else. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. The man's just getting paid. Marlins organization for all of their players combined, it's about $1 billion. And just for Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani alone on the Dodgers, over $1 billion. So wow, these boys. I mean, that is an expensive franchise. And I mean, they got other players on the team. It's not just these two. So they got two of the best players. We'll see if they can get it done. I think Mike Trout was with Shohei Ohtani, and they never got anything done. I don't even think had a playoff appearance. Um, but an incredible performance. You love to see that for him. That, I mean, I'm sure he was set up for life already, but that really sets you up for life. Um, Big talk about him going to the Blue Jays. I think there was like, I think 86% of bettors were betting that he went to the Blue Jays. Um, but he had other ideas. He had other ideas. Got a funny little meme right here. Otani to all those Blue Jay rumors. He said, just, yeah, just go. Just leave. Yep. You're out. Get out of there. But hey, no way Blue Jays putting up 700 million to get this dude. Um, but Jesus, Shohei, like, come on, man. Come on, man. Going over our wow picks of the week. We had yesterday we made our predictions for Tennessee game and for Green Bay Giants game. Our wow picks, we had Giants +6. We had the over for Giants Packers. We had Miami minus 13.5. And then we had the over for that game as well. So looking at that, we have Giants +6 hitting over 36.5 points. Giants Packers smashing that with 46 points, hitting that, 2 hits. We hit the over for the Miami-Tennessee game with 55 points total, with the over-under being at 46.5. And then our only loss of the day, which we had until Will Levis had his drives, was minus 13.5 for Miami. Wow. Shout out to Will Levis. Hey, 3-1. 3-1 of our wagon of the week picks. I don't think we're going to be making any wagon of the week picks today, but players just really getting it done. But all right, folks, on our first ever Tuesday for Bandwagon Sports, this is Kate Navarro, and we are signing off. Have a great day. Be a good friend. Tell someone you love them. Peace.